So my name is Kristen Hayden and I'm the founder and executive director of One World Now. One World Now was founded in 2002 after the tragic events of 9/11, and I can definitely tell that story about how that happened, but frankly it wasn't just that moment, it was all of my life history before it that led up to that moment. And the experience that was really transformational and changed my life was when I was 15 years old and I studied abroad in apartheid South Africa. And that experience gave me a passion about social justice issues and study abroad. The mission of One World Now is that we exist to develop the next generation of global leaders. And what One World Now offers, these language, leadership, and study abroad experiences, we believe are the important skills and experiences to be an effective global leader in the 21st century. Most of our students are low-income, students of color, and why this is so important is this is representing the true face of America. So not only is it a transformational experience for our youth who go abroad, but it also helps break the stereotypes about what it means to be American for people in these other countries. Everybody benefits from this experience. So the basic model of One World Now is to prepare young people with the language and the leadership skills and then send them abroad. The languages that we've chosen to focus on are Arabic and Chinese. We strategically chose these languages as important languages that are not typically offered in our public schools.
In ninth grade, I really wanted to learn Chinese, and there was no opportunities in my middle school, the elementary school, to learn Chinese. And then I saw on a poster board saying, One World Now, you can join, you can learn Chinese, study abroad leadership, and I was like, awesome, I can do this.
I'm studying Arabic, so I think that'll really help. It's just useful to know the language. I think it'll really help me understand the culture better.
The 3 weeks immersion camp at Seattle University, it really helped me give me a feel of what studying abroad might be, because the whole time the teacher only speaks in Chinese, and even though we didn't know what she was talking about, she did a lot of movement gestures and really helped us do it.
So I came to the One World Now camp the second day, and we spent the first 3 hours going over language and customs, and the next 3 hours were spent in a customs situation. And after 3 hours of learning stuff, I was able to say my name and give vital information. And I thought if I could ever spend more than 3 hours, I could do this somewhere else. And I think that kind of situation of putting you into where you aren't comfortable is something that One World Now does really well.
The statistics of American youth who study these languages are pretty shocking. Less than 1% of American high school youth study Arabic, and less than 3% study Mandarin Chinese. And these are really important languages in the world right now. And the world is becoming such a smaller place that we all need to be multilingual now in a way more than ever before. And One World Now addresses that.
Another thing that really helped me was One World Now's leadership classes, which really gave me an opportunity to just meet kids that from just different cultures. One World Now leadership camps classes were really just I think little melting pots, like a mini America almost, Even though we were all in that one room, I felt like I was like in a global atmosphere. And One World Now really grilled the idea of global awareness, and it made us understand that global leadership is something that's really important to all of us.
After we take the time to prepare these young leaders to study abroad, we send them on scholarship to a foreign country, typically a month, although now we're also very focused on giving students an extended opportunity for a semester or a year to actually complete a gap year abroad. The gap year is a concept that has been around for years in many other parts of the world, particularly in Europe and Australia and New Zealand and even in Canada. Basically, the idea of the gap year is that it's the year between high school and college when young people, instead of going right into college or university, will often do a gap year abroad. And then once they are abroad, to live with host families, continue their language studies, and to do a community service project. We at One World Now are really excited about promoting and institutionalizing the gap year in America, and we've made a lot of headway so far on this. And the reason why the gap year is important is that in the year between high school and college, the students would consider what their passion is, what they're really interested in, what part of the world they would like to explore, and be transformed by that exchange experience.
You're going out and building new language skills, new leadership skills, expanding your horizons. And this is why I feel like all Americans should study abroad, pick a gap year, because I know it's going to be one of the best years of my life.
I've always just really liked traveling, and I really like learning about other cultures and experiencing them.
So we often find that the most impactful experience for One World Now youth, but this goes always for youth coming from other countries to America or us sending Americans abroad, is to actually have that homestay experience. Homestays often change everything. Once you're living in that family's home and experiencing the day-to-day comings and going of what it's really like to live in that country, in that culture, that will change your perceptions for a lifetime. And almost always it leads to a lasting friendship.
One World Now has been a really big pillar of support in my time in high school. As someone who traditionally wouldn't have been able to have the means to go abroad or go to college for that matter, I mean, they've done miraculous things in giving me letters of recommendation, being there for me when in my times of need when no one else really could be, and giving me the strength in myself to really push myself to go to college and become a better citizen of the world.
After I'm done with my gap year, I plan to go to college, but I really want to do something that involves like foreign affairs or something like international, and studying abroad I feel like it will help a lot because you just get exposure to different countries and cultures and people.
The program has showed me like a way to mature myself more and learn different types of cultures, and it brought me back to my own culture, and it showed me the importance of my own culture. I love this program so much, and it means so much to me, and if anyone should join this, because it'll change your life. It will change your life.
We all know that education is the key to transformation for each individual person. There are a lot of circumstances in the world that we can't control or that have occurred that we can do nothing about. But the one thing that we can do, and the one thing that we should do for our young people, is to give them the opportunity to an education that will change their lives. Our world is so small and has become one world now. And in that, it is our obligation to provide new ways of thinking for young people and to give them the skills, to give them the language skills to understand each other. Most importantly, to give them the life experiences so that they can be compassionate and empathetic towards what it means to be other. Because if you don't have that, then you will always see people as other. And that creates suspicion, fear, and more of the conflicts that we have all over the world. Education is the key towards understanding. Education is the key towards openness. Education is the key to changing one's life circumstances. Because the one thing that we do have control over is our minds and all the possibilities. And the possibilities are endless when we understand that and experience that for ourselves. Study abroad is a great tool for taking us out of our comfort zone into a new environment and forcing us in a way to appreciate what it means to be other, and actually at the same time showing us how connected we all are. This is what One World Now is all about, and this is what we need all of our support for, especially these young people who don't often have these opportunities given to them to level the playing field and to create this One World Now. Thank you very much.
You should join One World Now because it's amazing.